Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been feeling the pressure from their dentist since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help you win your league and avoid the anxiety of going to the dentist. How's it going, fellas?
It's going pretty well, guys. I have one question for you. Do you floss?
Like once every 3 weeks. Is that enough?
I wouldn't say consistently.
See, I don't actually
I do.
I don't actually need to know. It's just that's the most condescending question of all time, I think.
You're
it definitely
right.
is, because they know the answer. The answer is always no, and if they say yes, if someone says yes, they're lying, and they know
Yes.
that. The dentist knows you're lying.
Right. Everybody knows that they are not good at consistently flossing.
I would be like, I'm the
This is
best
annoying.
consistent flosser after I have corn on the cob. That's it.
Honestly, if I
That's
met
true.
somebody
Or
that
popcorn.
flossed every day, I would be concerned about that person.
Like, where do they find that time to do that?
That level of commitment is scary.
Also, it's just annoying. Like it doesn't hurt, but it just like doesn't feel good, and it's annoying. Like you're doing that to yourself every day.
Ooh, you poke the
We
gum?
need to talk.
You get that gum a little bit too much? Ooh,
Yeah,
bad
make
feeling.
it. Oof.
Think about this. There's people out there that floss so much that their gums don't even bleed anymore.
Oh,
I don't
God.
trust that.
How
those people.
strong are your gums? Your gums work out more than I go to the gym.
How strong is your will at that point? Oh my God.
That's better. That's a good question.
Chill out.
Is that
Your
good
mouth
for
has
your
been
gums?
through nom.
Are you supposed to floss like every day? All like
According to dentists, yes. I think
how
so.
many times is too many? Like to floss? Like
3
3 times a day, is that too many? You know, like
Probably.
where's the line? It's just like
I feel like
yeah, floss more. It's like what do you mean? Like how much more?
I feel like it's a really big ask. You know,
It's a very big
like
ask.
for flossing specifically. It's such a daunting task. The string is so small. It's never like strong enough. You got to wrap it around your fingers. It always slips away.
Oh, and it like
I was
squeezes
just
your
gonna say
finger
that.
also? Squeezes the finger a
Yeah.
little too tight? Oh.
Yeah, you're cutting the blood flow off from your fingers. You're putting your fingers in your mouth.
Couldn't agree
Probably.
more.
Got to make
That
sure
can
your
be
hands are
sanitary.
clean. Yeah, it's like
You know what? We're
This is
staying healthy.
insane.
We're staying healthy
this
by
is
not
insane. What are people doing? What's happening in there?
And I use those like flossers, but apparently you're not supposed to use those because they're not good for you. Allegedly, like dentists don't like them. You know what I mean?
I have a call to action for America. Start telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
doing this.
Tell people how often you floss.
I have a truth for you guys.
Yeah.
Related to this. As a kid, I used to brush my teeth for like literally, I'm not saying that, I'm saying this literally 20 minutes straight before going to dentist appointments. Like
I don't think I'd have teeth.
like
after that.
four times back to back to back to back. And
That's crazy.
I would always be thinking like, oh, I'm going to fool them. I'm going to fool them this year.
They're gonna know.
And I just found out recently that they know because it like erodes your enamel when you do that. So they can
It
like,
erodes
tell.
your enamel.
If you like go nuts, yeah, it's like it's actually not good for your teeth to like go ham on them.
So another question. My question again is how much brushing is too much brushing?
Scott, are you just looking to not take care of your teeth? Are you trying to like move to England?
have my teeth taken care of. I don't want to have to do it every freaking day, multiple times a day. It seems like a ridiculous waste of time.
There's people. I think that there's like a secret society of people out there that are just obsessively taking care of their teeth. They bring these little tiny toothbrushes to work, and they brush their teeth after lunch. And they fucking hide in the bathroom stall brushing their teeth so nobody
I
sees
feel like
them.
people like that would just do it in a sink. Like they wouldn't hide. They're like proud of it, you know. And then someone's like, "I'm not brushing teeth again." They're like, "Yeah, it's my third time of the day."
It's like 11 a.m. Third time
Like 11,
today.
yeah.
That kind of behavior is like chaotic energy. I'm like, that scares me. I'm worried about these people.
Yeah. What else do you think? What do you think they do for fun? Those people.
Whiten.
Whiten.
They
Crushed white
probably
chips?
Yeah.
they probably eat original Triscuits one at a time.
Ugh.
Let's talk about whitening, because I have done like the, do-it-yourself whitening, and I've literally burnt my mouth because the thing didn't fit my teeth, and then the whatever it's called, the bleach or like whitening got in my gums, and it killed my mouth for like 2 weeks straight. So then I didn't do it.
Yep.
And then I went to the dentist. I was like, hey, thinking about whitening. They're like, yeah, it'll be like $5,000. I didn't say $5,000. They're just like,
that's
way
fun.
too much money. I was like, excuse me? They're like, well, you can do it yourself. I was like, I just tried to. Yeah.
Anytime I've ever tried to whiten my teeth, I just get the gel all over my lips, and then I look like I just ate like a powdered donut.
That's
and my lips burn off.
So it's like a powdered donut, but your lips burn off instead of sugar.
You guys just convinced
really
me
good.
never to try this. So nice job.
Don't ever do it.
Also, I feel like every single teeth whitening thing is a complete gimmick.
And scam.
It definitely is.
Yeah, I feel like it's all scams.
Activated
the
charcoal
technology
dips.
Yeah, the technology
tried
hasn't
that.
changed
That's
in like
weird.
40 years. They're just giving everybody an LED light to shove in their mouth.
Yeah, what's up with
they
that?
pretend
Like
like
all the
it's doing
celebrities do
something.
those things.
Oh
that-
yeah, you got to put the light in. You got to put the light in. Oh yeah, you got to put the light in. Well, what's the light doing? What? The gel is not going to do that on its own. I gotta shine a flashlight on it to make it work. This seems like ridiculous. Like this is some magician came up with this, and he's just fucking with everybody.
You should do like a you made your own like
it's absolute bullshit. I've had enough. I'm done talking about this.
you should do like a make it your own like flashlight and like
I'm
whitening.
honestly getting mad.
Rob is thinking about all the money he's wasted on whitening products.
Can we also
can
talk
s-
about can we talk about wisdom teeth too? Loop that into the dentist.
I don't want to talk about those. That was
We're not
the
gonna talk about that.
worst 2 weeks of my life. Let's just move on to, the Jets.
I'd rather talk about my teeth. Let's do this thing. You know what we're doing. Crunchwrap Supreme Games of the Week for Week 6. First one we got. By the way, we got another London game this week. It's early, though. Weirdly enough, last week we had like 10 games during the 1 o'clock sessions and 2 at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
brutal.
Red Zone was like skewed. It was weird. So this one, we got Panthers versus the Bucks, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time in London, which is awesome. It's literally football all day. There's no excuse to get up from your couch. The line is the -1.5 for the Panthers, which I really like, but you never know what happens in London. Panthers, nothing needs to be said about Christian McCaffrey. He's like the top running back for the rest of the year, probably. Kyle Allen is a little too inconsistent with his pass catchers to trust any of them for the rest of the year, so it's tough to play anyone else in this team right now. What do we think of the Bucks and the rest of the game?
The Bucks are the official Jekyll and Hyde team of 2019.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get. I think in London, we're going to see some wonky stuff. I could see Mike Evans having a really, really nice game here. And you really got to hope that's the case based on how last week went. But
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, this line looks almost too good to be true. You know what I mean? Like it seems like almost too obvious to pick the Panthers here.
Yeah, I could see that too. I feel like Mike Evans will bounce back, but they have two of the best cornerback tandems in Bradbury and Jackson too. So I'm not really sure. And one thing I will say on the other side of the ball, I mean, I think Evans and Godwin will do fine in this game. One thing I will say on the other end of this ball is the Bucks DVOA, which is defense adjusted value over average. So basically, like, how do they stack up to the average defense? Last year was like 32nd and 31st most weeks. Horrible. And to his credit, Todd Bowles has really turned that defense around. They're middling right now, but they're like 15th, 16th in DVOA. So it's pretty solid. And you can't really like throw or pass on them like that well. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is still a good play, but I think the rest of the pass catchers, this will be kind of a tougher one. Actually, yeah, I think you convinced me. I think I'm going to take the Bucks in this one for the line.
Yeah, it's almost like if you got a somewhat consistent Jameis, this would be a no-brainer. But
Right.
we never know what we're going to get. I would say I'm with you. I'm taking the Bucks because I feel like London has some wonky stuff happen there.
Always. I think it's in the new stadium. The what's that team?
Tottenham Hotspur.
Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, that's the new stadium they're playing. Next game, we got Seahawks at Browns. But first of all, this is our first week of 6 Crunchwrap Supreme games. We have a lot of good games this week.
Yeah.
Seahawks at Browns. Line is -2.5 for the Browns. Browns look terrible on Monday night. Russ and Seahawks is having an MVP type season. Chris Carson is a top 10, if not higher play this week after the 49ers just trounced them through rushing.
I like that.
Yeah. And Will Dissly, he's only getting like 47 targets a week, but actually for 10, that's not bad. And he's probably a top 10, late back end tight end 1 right now. What do we think of the Browns and the rest of this game?
I would say if we were gambling men, we would instantly, we're taping this during Monday Night Football, I would take this line for the Seahawks side while we can, because this line is going to move at least 5 points. It's going to be Seahawks by 3 by the beginning of the betting season for week 6, and I would go even higher. I think Chris Carson is like an obvious plug-in in DFS lineups this week, because Matt Breida just shredded the Browns.
And Tevin Coleman did too. He had we're almost end of the third quarter. I think Tevin Coleman had 12 rushes for 86 yards and a touchdown. And Breida had 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving.
Hell yeah. Resident Brady dog Milo just barked his approval right there. So, so we're getting the bark of approval from him. Go Seahawks.
That's good enough for me.
Seahawks all day. While I do think the Browns can muster a fight, I don't think they'll be quite as bad. They're not a well-coached team, so you can't trust them. And the Seahawks are anything but. The Seahawks are one of the best coached teams in the NFL, so take them any chance you get against an undisciplined mess of a team like the Browns.
Yeah, talk about Jekyll and Hyde. That's the Browns for you this year. Next one, we got Texans at Chiefs, which is a sick game.
Yes.
These 2 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round. Second and third quarterbacks taken after Mitch Trubisky in 2017?
Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch. And actually, that was the draft of the running back that you said last episode on Wednesday. This line is Chiefs -8, which we'll get to that. I don't love that after the Chiefs' last 2 games.
And he's banged up. And Mahomes is banged up too.
Mahomes is banged up. Yeah, and the running game is like close to non-existent for the Chiefs as well. What do we think of that? Damian Williams is like not doing anything. LaShawn McCoy didn't have a rush last week.
They're missing Kareem Hunt. It's that simple. They don't.
Yeah.
Damian Williams is he is what we thought he was. He's a nice complimentary back, but he can't be a complimentary back to Shady McCoy, who at this stage of his career is also a complimentary back. You need like a guy that can get the ball like 15,
not Darrell Williams,
15, 16 times a game. And I don't even think it's Darwin Thompson either, because he hasn't done anything and he's really small. So maybe letting Carlos Hyde go was a big mistake by them. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, now that he's doing. Oh, this is like a revenge game.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that. Oh yeah,
Carlos Hyde revenge game for
let's go
half of an off season
for what that's worth. Yeah. I will say about the Chiefs, Andy Reid's running backs in the last 15 seasons, 10 of those seasons or 11 of those seasons, he's had like a top 10 running back.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, like you said, LaShawn McCoy, dating back to Philly days, Brian Westbrook, even before that.
Loved Brian Westbrook.
He's always had good running backs. His system is very friendly for that. But I think this team is really missing Tyreek Hill at this point. Sammy Watkins has been so banged up, and he'll be back hopefully this week, which will open up things tremendously for Mahomes, because the deep ball hasn't taken away the past 2 weeks, and that's how teams beat him. On the other side, Texans, Will Fuller.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell happened? Kudos to you if you stuck with him. I dropped him in 1 week last Monday, and then John Ross went on IR. I put John Ross in my IR spot, so I had another opening, and I was like, all right, I'll pick Will Fuller back up, I guess.
Oh, you
lucked squarely on my bench, and that worked out really well. But is he a starter this week and then moving forward? What do you think?
Look, he's going to have another game this year where he puts up 40-plus fantasy points, but it'll probably just be one of those games, maybe 2, if we're lucky, and you're never going to know what it is. So, when bye weeks start to get a little bit heavier, just plug him in your flex. Because if he goes off, you win your week. You know what I mean? Like I said, coming into the year, he's a wide receiver 1 when he plays. And when he doesn't, and then, the only issue is that he's going to get hurt, and he's going to probably play 8 to 9 games every year. So plug him in. If you need a flex guy, just throw him in your lineup, and you can't expect 53 points, but he's clearly one of the premier deep threats in the NFL, playing with Deshaun Watson against the terrible Chiefs defense. I mean, plug the guy in. Now, I can't promise you a huge game, but he's gonna get some looks here against the Chiefs.
One thing I will say is I picked up Will Fuller in that one league. That league, I have Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks as my starters. And even if Brandon Cooks comes back next week, I'm still going to play Fuller over him.
Yeah,
that's like the upside. Brandon Cooks isn't getting 40 points any week this year. All right, next game we got Eagles at Vikings. The line is -3 for the Vikings, which don't love, but they did bounce back in a big way last week. Kirk Cousins finally looked like he was worth $30 million a year. Maybe not that much, but 22 of 25, I believe. 2 touchdowns to Adam Thielen. Stephon Diggs got a couple of catches to shut him up, so he just stops bitching about being on the Vikings. Honestly, this is another week to play Kirk Cousins if you have him, because the Eagles might be even worse than the Giants at in terms of cornerback and safety play. But the Eagles just trouncing the Jets. What do we think of them in this matchup against a much tougher defense than the Vikings?
I would bet them all day. I would play their players all day. I mean, the Vikings, yes, they have a pretty stout defense, but the Eagles are just a better team. They're a better team. They're also a more desperate team right now because the Cowboys are, they're kind of in a neck-and-neck race with the Cowboys, so they have a chance to now make up some ground and overtake them. They need this game much more than the Vikings do. I mean, not that the Vikings don't need this game. Their division is also pretty rough, but the Eagles are, in my eyes, still the class of the NFC. If they get Deshaun Jackson back this week, it's over. It's over for the NFL defenses out there, because all of a sudden now Carson Wentz goes from being a 7th or 8th quarterback every week to now being like the 2nd or 3rd quarterback every week. We saw what he could do with that guy week 1. And I think this might be the week he comes back, and that is a great thing for this Eagles offense.
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles as well. I like that. I like that line. 49ers at Rams. Next one we got -4 for the Rams. 49ers looked amazing on Monday night against the Browns. I know the Browns are up and down constantly, but 49ers are quiet 4-0 this year. Rams are 3-2, coming off some injuries. Jared Goff looks like a solid QB2 this year, but that's it. Gerald Everett is a nice play this week. But the 49ers, what do we think of the run game, and what do we think of them against the Rams in this divisional matchup this week?
This is the game of the week, in my eyes, because this is
nice.
Like the Rams' backs are against the wall here. They're 3-2. Seattle's pretty good this year. The 49ers are 4-0. They already have more wins than them. The Rams need to win this game, and the 49ers are red hot. And the Rams, they're playing decent, but they're not at all red hot. They need to get going here. And the 49ers
defense sucks this year.
And the 49ers defense is pretty good. So this is going to be a huge test for actually Sean McVay and Jared Goff, not the other way around. I think the Rams here have the backs up against the wall, and I think they'll figure it out. I really do. The line, though, makes no sense to me. The 49ers have shown more this year than the Rams thus far. So as far as betting goes, I probably would just stay away from this game.
I agree.
But I do think the Rams figure it out and win this game. I don't know if they'll cover. I think this could be like a classic game this week.
I think they will cover, and I'll tell you why. The 49ers are 4-0, not taking anything away from them because they're having one of the bounce-back seasons of the year. They look like, obviously, a playoff team with Jimmy G and no injuries, really. The running game is solid. Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the NFL, in my opinion. They've played the Buccaneers, the Bengals, Steelers, and the Browns. And that's who they have their 4 wins over. So, Bucs are very middling. The Bengals are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Steelers look like also that. And then the Browns are just up and down, but you catch them on a bad week, that's looking good for your team. So I'm going to take the Rams in this one. I think they'll bounce back, like you said. I agree. And, the 49ers, not that it's like a hollow 4-0. It's just not as impressive as I think, another team is, like the Patriots or something. Next one, we got Lions at Packers on Monday Night Football. So, great storied franchises here. Big rivalries. Packers are up, in their, 100-plus years. 100 to, 82 against the Lions. But, fun fact, Lions have won the last 4 matchups against the Packers.
Really?
Last 2 years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. They swept them 2 years in a row, which I have no idea how. I think the Packers 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers was hurt most of the season. They had like Deshaun Kaiser. They weren't that good. They missed the playoffs. And then last year, I don't know what happened last year, but I think Kerryon Johnson is a top 5 or 10 play this week. The Packers defense, the weakness of it is the rushing attack. They have really good cornerbacks in Kevin King and who's the other guy?
Jair Alexander. Yep.
Jair Alexander, yeah. And their safeties are pretty solid.
Pass rushers are great with the Smith brothers.
Exactly, yeah. But they're a little hollow through the middle of the defense. So Kerryon Johnson's a great play, and I had a nice buy. Packers, did they finally free Aaron Jones or what?
Oh, this is like the game of all games for those Aaron Jones truthers among us, myself included. We've been saying this for a year and a half now. Like, give this guy the ball, and they finally did, and this is what happens. Matt LaFleur.
Good things happen.
Matt LaFleur has figured this thing out.
About time.
Nobody's talking about what a great job this guy's doing. Like, come on. The Packers are incredible this year. Maybe I'm going to take back what I said about the Eagles being the class of the NFC. It might be the Packers.
Honestly, yeah. They just, trounced the Cowboys last week. It wasn't even close. I mean, the lines, the box score was, seemed closer, but it wasn't even close. They were up 31-6 at one point. I'm going to take the, I don't know. I'm going to take the Lions. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a 3-point game, honestly.
I think primetime, Lambeau, I'll go with the Packers, but I don't...
-6.
I don't blame you because the Lions have looked like, at the very least, they get to keep every game they're in close.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia, enough said.
They got spunk. Yeah, that's true. Next segment, we got spicy potato taco, light but sneaky good. We don't really have any of the other games. It's just games of the week or spicy potato games. The Saints at Jaguars. This is a pick 'em, so just pick one of them. Teddy Bridgewater, 4 touchdowns against the Bucks, but it was the Bucks. Defense is better than last year, like we said earlier, but it's still the Bucks. And no Jalen Ramsey means good things for Michael Thomas, who lines up in the slot a lot, of course. But Jags, Gardner Minshew fumbling it 3 times. Are you worried about that this week?
No, not at all. He will sort that out. And Lenny Fournette still putting up numbers. I'm not saying he's off the shit list, but Lenny Fournette,
good graces.
He's making it happen for you if you own him. Way to not listen to us. Congrats. Hope you feel great.
You know what's
about
helping him?
What?
Gardner Minshew,
yes,
throwing the ball,
100%,
carrying it out. Not Blake Bortles. That's helping.
I can't believe this game's a pick 'em. Give me the Saints all effing day.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. I don't know why it's a pick 'em. Jaguars are sneaky, solid too, and kind of scrappy, but I'll take the Saints. Next one, we got Falcons at the Cardinals. 2 of the probably worst teams. Not the worst teams, but they're bottom 10.
The messiest.
This year.
They're very messy teams.
Very messy. That's a perfect way to describe them. Falcons, the line is -1 to the Falcons. Matty Ice statistically did well last week and this year, but he just looks off. The offensive line looks off. There's no run game. Julio Jones is fine. Calvin Ridley's fine. Austin Hooper's good, but I don't know. Devontae Freeman has a terrible, putrid yards per carry this year. And the Cardinals, Kyler Murray looks like a solid 1-2 QB, 1-2 tweener.
Yeah, look out. I think, are they getting Patrick Peterson back now, the Cardinals? I mean, this might be actually a much more fun game than we think. It might be a nice little shootout, but I mean, Julio Jones, if he has to contend now with Patrick Peterson, all of a sudden it looks a little bit less tasty as a matchup than it did. I have to check in on that, but I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Cardinals here. Is it sacrilegious to take the Cardinals? They're home.
No.
The Falcons are
1-4.
cursed, as Rob would say. They're a cursed team right now. Yes. Give me the Cards.
Yeah.
Why not? Kyler scrambling around, making stuff happen. Why not?
I like that. I'll take them too. They're on a heater now after winning their first game against the Bengals last week.
Speaking of heaters, our gambling tips of the week have been incredible. It's not
Fuego.
We're not reinventing the wheel here this week. The line against our J words is under 10 this week. So take the Cowboys all effing day.
-8.5.
Take that money take it to the bank, mortgage the house, put it on the Cowboys, and
everything.
You're welcome. Okay, back by popular demand, the prop bets. Oh, man, we got to start things off with our guy, Gardner. Scott, more fumbles this week. Kyle Allen, who famously had a 3-fumble game 2 weeks ago, or Gardner Minshew with his 3-fumble game in week 5. Scott, who's going to fumble more in week 6?
Infamous games. I'm actually going to take Kyle Allen here. I think Gardner Minshew is going to batten down the hatches against the Saints, and Kyle Allen's playing in foggy London town, so
ooh,
you don't know what happens over there. It's a new stadium. It's a new
Across the
juju
pond.
over there. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Randy Moss Vikings jerseys in the stadium. It's going to be distracting. I'm going to take Kyle Allen.
Yeah, lots of David Garrard Jaguars jerseys too. That will be that will be intimidating for these Panthers over there.
Throwbacks, yeah. Maybe a Mark Brunell one here and there. I don't know. Fred Taylor.
Also, these are 2 expansion franchises, so shout out to those teams. Nice work. Nice work cementing yourselves with, backup quarterbacks that fumble a lot. Nice job. Nicely done.
And you've gone across the pond. Yeah.
Bringing that show on the road. I agree. Give me Kyle Allen to fumble at least once this week. Gardner will keep that thing high and tight.
High and tight. I like that.
All right, let's look at more points against this week. The Patriots or the Cowboys? The Cowboys playing our J-words, and I don't even know who the Patriots have. They're going to
Giants, the other New York team.
Okay.
The other New Jersey, New York tweener team.
So who's letting them more points there?
Ooh. I'm going to do the page. I'm going to say more points against. I'm going to say the Cowboys because there's a chance that Sam Darnold plays.
Oh God,
There's
I hope
a small
so.
chance.
Just give me.
I don't even.
I don't even need us to win games anymore. I just need I need visual evidence that there's progress being made, and I'm good. That's all I need.
You know what I need? I completely agree. I need them to lose, them to be down 30-0 going into the fourth quarter, and then Sam Darnold, maybe he had a game manager type game in the first 3 quarters, and then he just has a beautiful fourth quarter, and it's that's our quarterback, and we lose 30-17 every week. And we go 0-16. We have the first overall pick.
Oh, it sounds glorious to me.
That sounds fine because we have our quarterback, we have our running back, poor guy, and then just get Jerry Jeudy in the draft.
Oh, yes,
please get a freaking wide receiver.
Yep, I'm with that. And I agree. I think, if Sam Darnold plays, this is a no-brainer here. Let's look at the next one. More rushing yards this week. Kerryon Johnson or Lenny Fournette. And I'm taking Kerryon because I fucking hate Leonard Fournette.
Done. Easy. Kerryon Johnson. Lenny Fournette. That's even better.
That's my nickname
than what
for
we've
him.
been saying. Wow, that's good. That's fire.
All right, let's look at more catches. Austin Eckler or Le'Veon Bell and James Conner put together.
This is interesting because Austin Eckler had 15 catches against the Broncos last week. Le'Veon Bell, I think, had 7. And James Conner typically catches a lot, but he had 0 catches last week. And Jalen Samuels is vulturing, if you want to say that word for it, catches. But Mason Rudolph is probably going to be out. He's in the concussion protocol, so they're going to their 3rd-string quarterback this week. And Le'Veon Bell maybe has... Who is it?
I think it's Devlin Hodges is his name.
That's it.
What a name.
Literally 0 idea. I couldn't have even guessed that if I tried. So, I don't know. I feel like Austin Eckler's not going to repeat 15 catches again. Well, first of all, can we talk about how does a running back get 15 catches? Why is Phillip Rivers not doing well this year? I don't understand.
I don't know. There's you talk about bad juju, like when you mentioned with the Falcons.
Yeah,
bad juju is the other name of the Chargers.
It really is.
They're the bad juju Chargers because
weird.
I mean, maybe Melvin Gordon comes back and turns a couple things around for them, but there's something up there. They might also.
He did last week, and he didn't look good at all. Melvin Gordon, in my opinion, he was running into stacked boxes.
Yeah,
because Mike Williams sucks this year.
Yeah,
and I don't know, wasn't good, wasn't pretty.
Give me the combo of Le'Veon Bell and James Conner over Austin Eckler. I mean, I think Gordon will continue to become a bigger part of the workload every week, and Le'Veon Bell is going to catch the ball a ton against the Cowboys this week. All right, let's move on. More rushing yards. Lamar Jackson or Mark Ingram. I'm going to take Ingram, but it's very tempting to go the other side.
Yeah, I don't know. Lamar Jackson had 71 rushing yards last week, and I think Mark Ingram had 49 off the top of my head. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm going to say, who are they playing again? Ravens.
Well, they weren't in our games of the week, so it's got to be someone terrible.
Yeah.
Is it the Steelers?
Bengals.
Oh, Bengals.
Bengals. I'm going to say
No,
Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram.
He's going to dice him up, I think, this week. Another pair of teammates here. More receiving yards, Will Fuller or Nuke Hopkins? Give me Hopkins in a nice little equilibrium game here. I think he's going to actually go off this week and not Fuller.
I'm going to say Fuller.
Ooh.
I think they're both going to have good weeks. I think Fuller's going to get 5 more yards than Hopkins.
Yes, he's going to have
on the dot.
He's going to have like 225, and Hopkins will have 220.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Against the Chiefs.
All right, so more jerseys in London Stadium, in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Carolina Panthers or the Bucks? Who's got more jerseys sold there?
More jerseys being rocked. I'm going to say the Buccaneers, because the Panthers are a newer team, and all the jerseys in the stadiums in London are at least 15 years old, like we've been saying all along.
Yeah, give me the Bucks. Bucks won the Super Bowl too, so that helps.
Like Warren Sapp, like John Lynch, they're gonna have some of those. They're gonna have definitely some of those jerseys out there.
All right, so now another kind of a follow up here. More jerseys in London Stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The two we just talked about combined. So the teams playing combined, or every other jersey imaginable.
Every other jersey imaginable. Every other team. Everything else. Not the two teams that are playing. It's gonna be Vikings, Patriots.
I feel like we're going to see some Marvin Harrisons. We're going to see...
For sure. Dallas Clark.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Antonio Gates.
Oh, 100%.
It's got to be like the most popular players that were on like good teams at like, 15, 20 years ago. So
yeah. Priest Holmes.
I love the Marvin Harrison one. That's a really good one. Yeah.
Priest Holmes will be in there somewhere.
Priest Holmes. Wow. That's a good one. Jamal Lewis, maybe.
Ooh. Okay.
Ray Lewis.
Yes. Love that. All right, cool. So definitely every other jersey imaginable there. What about the biggest blowout this week? And for me, this has gotta be the Patriots.
Yeah. I think that's easy. I think I would have said the Cowboys Jets, but Patriots Giants is going to be an absolute dismantling.
Unless it's the Ravens. The Ravens might have something to say about that, but we're
with the Bengals. I feel like the Ravens need a tune-up game, so that actually might be... That's true, but that's also a trap game.
True.
The Bengals are 0-5, and it's like a division game, and that's usually tight. I don't know.
Okay.
It's just an easy bet with the Patriots there.
Well, I'm going to combine these last two. The closest game / most amount of lead changes. We'll just kind of throw that together, and like which game is going to be like down to the wire, action-packed game this week. Who do you think?
This one is easy. The easiest question you've asked. Dolphins Redskins. It's going to be 7-3.
I thought you were going to say the 49ers or the Rams, but
that's a good one too. Yeah,
but I actually love that. That's a great
Eagles
call.
Vikings. Yeah,
it's going to be like there's going to be like safety after safety. It's going to be like it's going to be like 4-6, and then it's going to be like 8. It's going to be like 7-6 somehow.
It could very well be 5-5 at one point. The safety each and a field goal each. Josh Rosen getting picked left and right, and then whoever the quarterback of the Redskins is, Colt McCoy or Case Keenum, because apparently Dwayne Haskins isn't good enough to start.
Yeah, I think we might see the dreaded pick 18 this week, which is the pick 12 plus another pick 6. I don't know which quarterback's going to do it, but I think it'll be done. And if it's going to be done, it's going to be in this game. So
I can't wait to watch that. That one better be on Red Zone constantly.
Oh, that'd be incredible. All right, let's
I
take a
want to
look
see them play in London too.
Can you imagine we send that game offshore? That'd be incredible.
Yeah. Sorry, London.
All right, let's take a look at a new quick little mini segment here. Our daily fantasy lineup for week 6. So the guys are playing just in week 6, and we're going to give you a lock and a cheap option at each position. I'm going to start with the quarterbacks. The lock here's got to be Deshaun Watson against the Chiefs. With Mahomes banged up, I still think the Chiefs will score, but it might be a little bit more, equal opportunity there. I think Deshaun Watson is going to have to carry the load for the Texans.
Love that. And I think cheaper option, Gardner Minshew at the Saints. It kind of might be a little shootout there. And Minshew, while he did have a couple of picks and like fumbles, had some rushing yards last week and had 21 points, which is really solid. So I'm going to take Gardner Minshew. You can get him much cheaper than Deshaun Watson, who I love too.
He's a garbage time hero. Let's look at the running back position and our lock this week. And he's actually kind of doubles as a cheaper option. He's not cheap, but he's cheaper than some of the top options. Chris Carson, great matchup. Steady workload. Looks like a rock solid RB1. And he's probably not priced like it. So he's our guy. He's our lock for week 6.
Yep. Browns couldn't stop a nosebleed on the running game of the 49ers last week on Monday. Cheaper, again, similar thing. Like, he's also a lock. He's not the most expensive, but he probably is a little cheaper, similar to Chris Carson. Kerryon Johnson has a great matchup this week. Packers' rush defense is one of the worst, honestly, rush defenses in the NFL. So another kind of lock / cheap guy.
At the wide receiver spot, give me Keenan Allen all day in a bounce back. Great matchup there for Keenan Allen. And
Steelers.
And again, he's not going to be priced super high, so you could save your money for someone like Deshaun Watson, or say you want to plug in Christian McCaffrey, you spend your money there, and then you get Keenan Allen for slightly cheaper than the other top wide receivers.
Yep. And we got a little contrarian here, right? So not necessarily cheap, but similar to what we just talked about with the running backs. Tyler Lockett, a really good matchup against the Browns too. We're taking the Seahawks a lot against these Browns.
Yes.
It's just the Browns defense is brutal. The offense doesn't look good. They're outkicking their coverage. They shouldn't be 2-3, honestly, in my opinion. So take Tyler Lockett on week 6 too.
Yeah, and even think about their defense. Let's look at tight end first, though. Travis Kelce's breakout is here. It's coming, and it's this week against the Texans.
Love that. And we were right about George Kittle's breakout on Monday night against the Browns. But a handful of catches. Cheaper option, Gerald Everett. I love this guy now.
Yeah,
breaking out.
He's going to be a big pickup.
Yeah. Yep. Last 3 or 4 weeks, he's had a solid string of games and had over 130 yards last week for the Rams. So I think he's a really good cheap option that, even for regular fantasy leagues, you can get to.
And for defense and special teams, shell out the money for the Patriots or the Cowboys this week against the Giants or the Jets, respectively. The Ravens, I would actually stay away from because their defense is not what it used to be. And I don't know if they'll be able to produce, but pick up those Patriots, pick up those Cowboys against the Jets, and go to work.
And Seahawks.
Yes.
Seahawks, cheap option, too. Baker Mayfield coughing up the ball constantly for the Browns. So take the Seahawks.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney will snatch that ball away any chance he gets.
Kind of looking forward to that, too.
Yeah, so hopefully you play that daily fantasy lineup and win some money, and then send us a little bit of a cut. Send us a little cut.
Yeah,
we will take...
Please?
No, yeah, just any money you want to send us. Milo agrees over there. Send us all the money you got.
Sponsor us.
Or, just give us a quick little shout out, and we'll take that too.
But really sponsor us. That does it for week 6 preview. Find us in the channels about everything. And good luck. Oh, check our Instagram story out. It's Flex Friday, people. Get in there. Ask the question.
Featuring the champion, the unknown champion of our Food Mascot Krav Maga Fight to the Death tournament death match. I can't say who it is yet. I don't want to spoil it for you listeners out there, but they'll be featured heavily in the Flex Friday Instagram story.
Hopefully, it's a food that's really bad for your teeth, or actually, maybe it's really good for your teeth, so you don't ever have to go to the dentist.
Also, don't forget to leave a review. We haven't harassed you guys about that in a while, and I feel like you guys are getting kind of comfortable.
Yeah, put them on edge, Rob. Flex on them.
I'm gonna flex on them right now.
Let them know.
You guys better leave a review before I report you.
Or else what? Tell them what's going to happen, Rob.
I'm going to report your Facebook. I'm going to show up with the Burger King mascot at your house, and I'm going to send him in.
And then what, Rob? What's going to happen next?
No, the Kool-Aid guy. You're going to break the window down.
And I'm just going to turn away and act like I didn't see anything.
That's dark.
Yeah. It gets dark.
So leave a review. Basically.
So leave a review.
Just make it easier on yourself and leave that review. And live moss.
Well,
see you later.
See you later.